You know, when I started studying piano, I was really young, and I was taking lessons with a classical pianist, and it wasn't that interesting. But I guess when I was about 12, I heard Bernard Peiffer play in Philadelphia, and he was a teacher. So I immediately switched to studying with him. And in studying with him, I mean, it was a really different way of looking at music, because even though I was sort of bored of playing classical music, he said, no, you have to keep on practicing classical music because you can learn a lot from it, not just from the technique, but also what's going on in the music, analyzing the harmony. So that opened up one whole door of how to look at that music, but also just the idea of how to improvise. And, you know, he was a very tough teacher. If you weren't prepared, he would send you home. And he was also the type of person, he would say to me, bring in a composition. And then he would spend the whole lesson, the whole hour, just going over very meticulously this bar and then taking it away and putting another chord here. And then he would say, this is the way you work on music. You know, you just keep on dealing with all these details, and then you look back and look at it, and then you keep on working on the details. And so that whole idea of how to work on music became something that was really interesting. But it was also because he was a fantastic pianist. He had a fantastic technique. And when he would play, you know, I, like many of his other students, would say, how do you do that? How do you play that way? And we would go hear him. So it was also a thing of just seeing how an adult playing music functioned in the world, doing a lot of different things. And he also introduced me to another really good musician in Philadelphia named George Rochberg, a composer. And so I started studying with him too. And that was more dealing with contemporary music and writing, and then with Bernard, it was much more about playing and, you know, really talking about other things, life, you know, just, because I think when when I was at that age, I was really ready for that message. But I think it really solidified in me a sense of like going for it and trying to become a musician, and realizing that there was a lot of different things involved in it, not just sitting and playing mechanically at the piano, thinking about the history of the music, thinking about different styles in the music, different historic eras in the music, and just the idea of, because he would tell us stories about what it was like growing up in France playing music, the Hot Club of France with Django Reinhardt, you know, just all these different eras. It became important to check out those things that way, mostly through records and your training. So in other words, we would listen to a record, he would say, see if you can figure it out for next week. So it was a combination of all those things.